So our elevator pitch is we provide strategic consulting and transactional advisory services that help create, maximize, and realize the unlocked value in a business. That's a good starting point as to what we do. And all the things that we do are really geared around two concepts, the concept of scalability and continuity. So when we talk about continuity, we're talking about the ability for a business to be positioned so that it can operate without its owner. So it is an independent functioning enterprise. Scalability is the second side of that. Is if we have a business that can continue on past the loss of an owner or an exit of an owner, can it actually scale? Because that's where the value, the second side of that value piece comes from. Maybe the owner doesn't want to scale it, but does he have the management team in place? Does he have the elements they need to be able to grow that business much faster and much larger if they decide to do so? And that's what buyers look for. That's what, key employees look for. They want to be part of those opportunities. So creating continuity and scalability is a key element of our service offering. So when we talk about our service offering, we talk about it in like a three-legged stool. And the first leg of that stool is that create or build value component. And this is when we're working with what we'll call our growth-oriented companies. And these are companies that are probably contemplating an exit 10, 15, 20 years down the road. But what they want to do is build a valuable business today, to build a successful enterprise. And when we work with these companies, a lot of the work that we're doing is in the strategic side of things. And that's a lot of strategic facilitation with their leadership and management teams of both the vision side of things, where do we want to be, but also the execution side is how exactly do we execute the strategy that we've created. And that execution side encompasses a range of things. It might be assisting them with acquisitions. It could be assisting with financing, developing partnerships, increased training and strategic side of things for their leadership and management teams or their employees. So it's really everything that they need to do to grow, and to execute that vision that they've created with us. So the second leg of the stool is the maximize value component of our services. And that's really focused on transition, succession, continuity planning for companies. And these are companies that are probably 1 to 5 years out from an exit. And they're now thinking about that exit and what do we need to do to position ourselves to really control one of three things. When we exit, from a timing standpoint, who do we exit to and how do we get the value that we want to achieve? The work that we do with them can, in some cases, be very similar to the work we do with growth-oriented companies and positioning that leadership team and filling in those gaps that might exist in the company. Unfortunately, for us, this is probably the most critical piece of our offering, and it's probably the point that most owners avoid the most because it contemplates an exit. It contemplates an exit to their business lives, and so that can be very challenging for companies. And for a lot of companies, it's going to require a lot of work to get to that maximizing of the value. And it can be very challenging to get the energy and the resources up to say, all right, I'm going to push for another 3 to 5 years, even though I'm really thinking about getting out today. So the third leg of the stool is the exit side of it. And these are really owners who are screaming, just get me out of the business today. I'm done. I'm ready to go retire or move on to whatever else is next in my life. And our services in this area are focused on the internal or an external transaction. So if we're talking externally, it may be gearing them to take them to market. So we're looking at marketing the company confidentially.